I think your comment about the complexity of having virtual friends, I would go even stronger and say I think people are having less real friends, and real friends are turning into virtual friends. Right? Oh, it's easier to communicate with you through my blog, so I won't bother to meet you for dinner anymore. All right, so I think there's a real possibility of losing human touch, right? Part of that's just as the densities of cities get bigger, people become more, it's funny, as you put more people into a small group, into a small area, often they get less willing to talk to each other. Right? You go out to a rural farmland area and you'll find that people are very, very nice and welcoming and happy to talk to strangers. You go to New York, not true. Right? But so I think that there's a possibility of some of that, of people get so used to communicating, and so easy to communicate virtually that they don't go out of their houses, or at least as much. Privacy issues are obviously a concern. Right? A big value that any of these blog, wiki, social networking sites can provide is that they know what they know what the users of the system are doing.
Okay.
Right? They have a lot of information about you simply because you've written it down and given it to them. Mm-hmm. Right? So there's remarkable possibilities for them to mine that sort of stuff, which brings up a separate opportunity for individuals is to actually charge the social networking site for access to their own data. Mm. Right? So you pay, right? I'm going to write blogs on your site, you should pay me because you're going to sell the information that comes out of that blog.
Okay.
Right?
Good idea.
GPS my phone, so if I want to find a restaurant, you can tell me, but you also have information about where I'm walking around, which may be of value to the taxi companies. Oh. So you sell the taxi companies information about where people are and where's the heavy traffic. Well, I'm providing you that data, you ought to pay me for it, right?
but usually that's not the way people do it, right? Like, that's not the way.
I mean, they take it at face value that, like, if I use your Blogger system, then I'm actually using your service.
Yeah, I don't think most people think about the fact that the service is actually going to pre-sell their data. At least not in sophisticated, at least the users I don't think have become sophisticated about what's the possible usage of this stuff. Most people are more concerned about, I don't want the stuff that I've put in being seen by the wrong people. Okay. Right? And while that's certainly a concern, I think it's fairly obvious that the major players, right, if you want to be a major social networking site with millions of users, you have to maintain people's privacy, because if it becomes known that the social networking site doesn't, nobody uses it, right? So there's a simple economic driver to maintain at least some privacy. One thing I personally like to see is it starts becoming very complicated to manage different levels of privacy. Mm. Right? I've got things about me that I would like to share with my close friends. And things about me I would like to share with a broader range, not my most closest friends, but most of my friends. There are other things that, anybody who's kind of an acquaintance can know. There are things that, if somebody knows me through work, there may be some things I want them to know and other things I'd rather they not know because I want to separate my work life from my private life, right? Students in particular, right? Might be happy for students to know some things about what I do outside of work, but it'd be nice if my students don't know what apartment building I live in. Right? And very few of the 2.0 tools give you very sophisticated ways of grouping these controls.
And have you seen LiveJournal?
Yeah.
It actually has a custom. Oh, there's a custom, like you can.
You got your own blog.
That's
not
you can actually custom make your own groups and all that.
Yeah, but my experience is even managing that is complicated.
Okay, yeah.
Because I can make this group within this post is supposed to be seen by these 3 groups and this 4 groups and not this one, and you know, this particular guy is, you know, I usually consider a close friend, but he's also a work person, so I need to be able to put him in the work group, make this post available to close friends, except close friends who happen to be work colleagues, you know. It gets complicated about managing your own privacy.